360 reports, I'm Jeremy Schaap. As the sun rose Wednesday in Zurich, the Swiss authorities, working in cooperation with the U.S. Department of Justice, raided a five-star hotel where dozens of soccer officials from across the planet had gathered ahead of Friday's FIFA presidential election. 7 men were arrested in Zurich, including 2 members of FIFA's executive committee. A total of 14 men were named in a Justice Department indictment on charges including racketeering, wire fraud, and money laundering. Speaking later in Brooklyn, Loretta Lynch, the U.S. Attorney General, said of the accused, they corrupted the business of worldwide soccer to serve their interests and enrich themselves. The arrests were the fruits of an investigation that's been going on for years. And pointedly, the U.S. Attorney overseeing the probe said, this is not the end of the process, just the beginning. Not arrested, not indicted, the man who has been FIFA's president for 17 years. But this is the FIFA he built.
Thank you for this very special reception. Who never takes a risk will never have a chance. You may think you know who I am, what I stand for, what I'm like. You may think you know what FIFA is, what it does, what it aspires to be, a faceless machine printing money at the expense of the beautiful game, with me pulling the strings and laughing all the way to the bank. It's not exactly that.
Hello, my dear friends. Hello. This is the FIFA president speaking, your friend Sepp Blatter.
It is a unique position.
I am the FIFA president.
He's the most powerful man in sports.
I am doing my job as FIFA president.
Sepp Blatter is a very nice person. I like him. My wife likes him. And I'm sure that if he's in this room, in 10 minutes, you like him too.
I was making some dancing. I have only asked for respect.
He lives in his own little world of denial.
Quite clearly, Sepp Blatter has presided over an increasingly endemic culture of corruption within FIFA.
FIFA is not corrupt.
Nothing happens in the organization without his authority. It's not a democracy.
Qatar!
Never has been.
These difficulties will be solved inside our family.
That's no way to run a global sporting organization like it's some sort of mafia family. But that, I'm afraid, is what it has become under his leadership.
Nobody should underestimate Sepp Blatter.
Crisis? What is a crisis?
He moves with the charm of the B-list socialite, the ruthlessness of the snake.
Here in Zurich, Switzerland, on May 29th, more than 200 sports executives from across the planet will gather for an election. They're coming here to decide who will hold the most powerful position in the world of sports, the presidency of FIFA, the global governing body of soccer. They're widely expected to re-elect Sepp Blatter, a 79-year-old from Switzerland who has led FIFA since 1998. Over the course of the next hour, we'll chronicle Blatter's rise to power and his tenure as president. We'll also attempt to show how, despite innumerable controversies, despite constant scandal, he has managed for so long to maintain his grip on power.
Todo o poder e prestígio da FIFA vem de um simples facto. É proprietária e organiza o Mundial de Futebol da FIFA. O evento mais lucrativo e popular do mundo.
Thank you.
Se há um momento que define a presidência de Sepp Blatter, é este.
The winner to organize the 2022 FIFA World Cup is Qatar.
Uma decisão que ainda confunde.
Qatar? There's between 1 and 50 reasons why that is an awful idea. There are now allegations that some FIFA executives took bribes to put the World Cup in Qatar, and I hope that's true, because otherwise it makes literally no sense.
Situado no Golfo Pérsico, o Qatar é um país pequeno, mas extremamente rico. Tem mais ou menos o tamanho do Connecticut, menos de 300 mil cidadãos e nenhuma tradição de futebol. As temperaturas de verão excedem constantemente os 49 graus. Mais importante, os especialistas em direitos humanos dizem que o Qatar 2022 é uma catástrofe inevitável.
Conservatively, from the figures of just two countries, India and Nepal, more than 4,000 workers will die before a ball is kicked off in 2022.
There is not one single doubt that the World Cup 2022 will be organized in Qatar. Decision taken by the Executive Committee on the 2nd of December 2010 and not reversible.
I think a lot of fingers are being pointed to Qatar. You're the bad guys, you're the bad guys. But the bad guys is FIFA. They're the ones who set up the rules.
Feidra Al-Majid é árabe-americana e consultora de média. Há 6 anos ela trabalhava para o Comitê de Candidatura do Qatar ao Mundial.
I don't think anyone took us seriously. We weren't anyone to reckon with. I don't think anyone really cared.
Estamos em janeiro de 2010. Al-Majid e o resto da equipa do Comitê de Candidatura do Dakar estão em Luanda, a capital de Angola. Está a decorrer neste hotel uma conferência de dirigentes africanos de futebol. Estão presentes membros do Comitê Executivo da FIFA, ou EXCO. Cada um tinha um dos 24 votos para decidir onde iria votar o Mundial de 2022.
What did you see in Angola?
I witnessed the Qatari team offering to different EXCO members money in exchange for their vote.
You were there.
I was there in the room, yes.
How much money?
1.5 million.
Per
vote.
To three different
members.
3 different members. What did they say?
The members? Well, they agreed. I mean, it didn't take much convincing, let's put it that way. It was quite a simple transaction.
A candidatura vencedora só precisava do voto de 12 dos 24 membros do EXCO, tornando assim cada voto muito valioso.
Where was the offer made?
It was made in a private suite within the hotel we were staying at.
Was it all 3 at the same time or
No.
separately?
It was separate.
What were you thinking yourself after those meetings?
I knew Qatar would win. I knew it. It was obvious that we would win.
Pouco depois da conferência em Angola, Al-Majid foi despedida. Ela diz que foi considerada culpada por outros comitês de candidatura terem uma cobertura mediática mais favorável.
And what did you do then?
I was given 3 days to leave the country.
When did you first share your story with anyone?
Well, I had talked to some journalists. I mean, I kept on saying Qatar's going to win, and they kept on saying, well, you're crazy. You're absolutely crazy.
Is Qatar.
And it happened. After that, journalists just kept on contacting me.
Em maio de 2011, as alegações de Al-Majid foram apresentadas numa audiência pública no Parlamento Britânico. A sua identidade não foi revelada.
How did FIFA respond when your allegations became public?
They invited me to go to Zurich, And I was promised I would remain anonymous. And then Blatter said to the media, yes, the Qatar whistleblower will be here on a Wednesday at 2 o'clock, and basically told everyone where I was going to be.
We have asked for evidence, and this famous whistleblower will be in FIFA on Wednesday, and will tell us if there is something or not.
And I refused at that time, of course, to go and testify.
Al-Majid temia que, devido às declarações de Blatter, ela fosse identificada em Zurique. A reunião nunca aconteceu. Alguns meses depois, ela retratou as alegações.
Why did you retract what you had said?
Everyone who became a member of the bidding team had to sign a non-disclosure agreement, NDA, for $1 million, that nothing would be revealed about what happened in the bidding. Obviously, by talking to the media, it was obvious that I've broken that arrangement.
Al-Majid tinha pedido à FIFA para a proteger legalmente, se fosse processada por violação do acordo de confidencialidade com os catarenses. A FIFA recusou.
The Qataris do have a judgment against me in Qatar. I do owe them $1 million for having broken the agreement. And I was told they were going to come after me for the money. And I'm also a single mother. I have 2 autistic children. And I don't have $1 million. And so their lawyers drew up an affidavit, and I was made to sign it. In exchange, I was promised I would get a letter stating that they would not sue me.
And did you get that letter?
No, on the contrary, I got another letter about 6 months later saying that if I ever contacted the Qatari bid again for any reason, I would be sued.
Os catarenses negam que Al-Majid tenha sido pressionada para retirar as alegações.
If you had a chance to have that meeting with Sepp Blatter that never took place back in 2011, what would you want to tell him?
I would want to tell him everything I had witnessed. I would have wanted to tell him everything. And had we had that meeting, at that point, the Qataris could have never forced me into an affidavit. I would have already said everything to FIFA.
What does it say about Sepp Blatter that he had an opportunity to speak to someone who had these serious accusations and he chose not to?
It goes back to the fact that he lives in his own little world of denial. Nothing's wrong in FIFA. There is no corruption. It's just this troublemaker who's claiming that there's problems, but there's nothing wrong.
Foi por isso que quisemos falar com aqueles que conhecem melhor Sepp Blatter, os que o observaram de perto, para descobrir as motivações do homem mais poderoso do desporto. A montanha Matterhorn ergue-se a mais de 4.200 metros e é um ícone dos Alpes. É na sua sombra que encontramos os inícios da lenda de Sepp Blatter.
When Forbes magazine last fall published its list of the most powerful people on the planet, Barack Obama, Vladimir Putin, Pope Francis, they all made the cut. But there was only one figure on the list from the world of sports. That was Sepp Blatter. Blatter grew up far from the corridors of power here in Visp, a medieval Swiss village, where for hundreds of years, generations of Blatters had lived more or less quietly.
Hier in Visp ist einfach der Sepp. Läuft hier in Visp frei herum, wie jede natürliche Person auch. Ist sehr gesprächig. Quatscht oder redet mit allen Leuten.
Há mais de 40 anos que Sepp Blatter frequenta a padaria de Josef Schwarz. A especialidade da casa foi criada em sua honra. o pão da FIFA.
Und dann haben wir eben obendrauf diese Obladen, dass das aussieht wie ein Ball und in der Mitte drin das FIFA-Zeichen. Ist eigentlich ein einfaches Brot, aber ein sehr gutes.
A vida é simples nesta aldeia milenar.
It's small, it's tiny. Some people, they like to be king in a village, and some of them, they want to become bigger in a town or in a city or in a nation. And Sepp Blatter is definitely the second case.
Bruno Affentranger é o autor da única biografia de Sepp Blatter. Sepp, o rei do mundo do futebol.
He was born in a family which was, let's say, they were not rich. They had not a lot of money. I wouldn't say they were poor. I think that's a legend. Well, not poor, but not a lot of money.
O mais velho de 4 filhos, Sepp, ficava em casa com a mãe. O pai trabalhava longas horas na fábrica química local. Foi durante o seu tempo nesta escola primária, agora com o seu nome, que ele descobriu a paixão da sua vida.
I was football mad as a boy. I still am. I played whenever and wherever I could. Kicking a ball against the wall if there was nobody else to play with. I wasn't so bad either.
He was forward. People told me that he was very quick. He didn't want to pass the ball. He wanted to score by himself.
Et puis on gagnait en général, parce que Sepp marquait énormément de buts. Je me souviens parfaitement d'un match contre les juniors de Massonger où Sepp a marqué 8 buts et nous avons gagné 14-0.
Antoine Schopp foi colega de equipa de Blatter. Conhece-o há 70 anos.
La toute première qualité qui vous impressionne toujours, c'est le charme. Je n'ai pas connu un être aussi charmant que lui.
Em adolescente, Blatter saiu de Visp para o colégio interno e mais tarde para a faculdade. Mas o seu sonho era o futebol.
I was offered at that time a professional contract by a club. I needed the signature of my father on the contract. And he refused to sign the contract, can you imagine? He took this contract. My son, he said, you will never earn your living with football.
Em vez disso, Blatter trabalhou como porteiro, coronel do exército e cantor de casamentos.
Did he have a good voice?
He can sing, yes, he has a good voice.
Até como repórter desportivo no maior jornal local, o Novelist.
Oui, il est évident que le garçon étant sérieux et intelligent, ambitieux notamment.
Jean-Pierre Baller era o editor de Blatter.
Oui, il est bien clair que lorsqu'il était correspondant, il n'avait pas l'ambition de devenir journaliste, certainement pas. Lui, il voyait, disons, son avenir différemment.
Em 1964 foi trabalhar para a Federação Suíça de Hóquei e rapidamente tornou-se o responsável. Mas a sua grande oportunidade surgiu em 1975, quando foi contratado pela organização sem dinheiro que dirigia o futebol mundial, a FIFA. Blatter era um de 12 funcionários.
That changed his life completely because he has a mission then, the mission to develop football and to raise the money, let's say, to start to sell football as an asset.
E assim fez. Em conjunto com o então presidente da FIFA, João Avelange, Blatter ajudou a tornar a FIFA numa galinha de ovos de ouro, vendendo direitos de televisão e publicidade por milhões de dólares. Tudo no meio de alegações de corrupção.
What did Havelange see in Blatter?
a lieutenant, a good, loyal lieutenant.
Em 1998, após 24 anos no cargo, Avalanche anunciou que se ia retirar. Era a oportunidade de Blatter de tentar o cargo principal. O seu adversário seria Lennart Johansson, da Suécia, que prometeu tornar a FIFA mais transparente.
What was at stake for FIFA in 1998?
The choice was a stark choice there, represented by Blatter as the candidate of continuity against the European president, Lennart Johansson, as the reform candidate. That's what was at stake.
Há 30 anos que o professor Alan Tomlin tem pesquisado e escrito sobre a FIFA. Ele esteve em Paris a 8 de junho de 1998, para a eleição.
There were reports that classic envelopes of cash were going under doors in the hotel in Montparnasse.
Monsieur Joseph Blatter, 111. Monsieur Lennart Johansson, 80.
Merci de m'avoir élu à la présidence de la FIFA. Merci beaucoup.
I was surprised, disappointed when I had to face facts. I heard rumors of what happened in the corridors before the election. These are rumors. Something happened that was not fair. There are too many people whom I trust who told me what went on. And it hurts.
Tinha começado a era de Sepp Blatter. Zurique é o coração financeiro da Suíça, uma das cidades mais ricas do mundo, e o lar da FIFA.
There are those who will tell you that FIFA is just a conspiracy, a scam. There are those who will tell you of the supposed sordid secrets that lie deep in our Bond villain headquarters in the hills above Zurich.
A maior parte dos dirigentes desportivos não gostam de ser comparados a vilões dos filmes de James Bond, mas este é Sepp Blatter.
They would have you believe that I sit in my office with a sinister grin, gently stroking the chin of an expensive white Persian cat. But that is not what we are. That's not FIFA. That's not me.
Monsieur Lennart Johansson, 80.
Essa percepção começou em 1998, quando Blatter foi eleito presidente entre alegações de que a vitória tinha sido comprada.
I am not going to give any platform to those they doubt about the results and the correctness of my election in 1998.
If you ask Mr. Blatter, did he buy votes, he would say no. And he has the right to say no, because he never took money in his hand and handed money over to other people. It is not today necessary that you go and buy your votes yourself.
Guido Tognoni foi dirigente da FIFA durante 20 anos. Durante algum tempo foi o conselheiro mais próximo de Blatter.
Who was buying votes for him?
I know the actors, I know the people. I do not want to expose them because they're still in the business, and I think it would be wrong 17 years after the event start to put the fingers on certain people.
If the election had been clean, who would have won?
I'm sure that without, let's say, helping hands from outside, it would have been extremely close. Maybe it would have been different.
Essa ajuda terá vindo de Mohammed bin Hammam, bilionário do Qatar e membro do Comitê Executivo da FIFA. Ele negou ter comprado votos, mas era inegavelmente leal apoiante de Blatter.
During the campaign in 98, Blatter was flying around on bin Hammam's private plane?
It was not bin Hammam's private plane.
It was the Emir's?
It was maybe even not the Emir's private plane, but bin Hammam arranged all facilities for Sepp Blatter. I do not know who was the owner, but when Sepp Blatter needed a plane and bin Hammam was around, then he organized the plane.
O avião permitiu a Blatter fazer campanha em todo o lado, especialmente nos países em vias de desenvolvimento. Quando se tornou presidente, lançou o programa GOAL, que financia instalações de futebol em países membros mais pequenos e pobres.
He liked digging over a piece of turf to open a new pitch, being feted wherever he goes. It's a bit like, a rain god arriving or something.
He's campaigning for FIFA and it is campaigning for himself. He always comes with gifts. He comes with the money for the FIFA goal project. He can give nice little jobs in the committees. So the FIFA president is 4 years like Santa Claus.
É política inteligente. Cada um destes países tem um voto. Os 209 países e territórios membros da FIFA têm um voto igual nas eleições presidenciais. E todos partilham igualmente os lucros do Mundial, independentemente do tamanho ou feitos futebolísticos.
Liechtenstein gets as much money as Germany. Andorra gets as much money as Spain. San Marino gets as much money as Italy. And Montserrat gets as much money as United States. This is a system of FIFA, and this is one of the keys that the incumbent president stays in power forever if he wants.
Isso foi especialmente evidente quando Blatter concorreu pela primeira vez à reeleição em 2002.
I have put on the table what I call misleading accounting practices.
Uma semana antes da eleição, o secretário-geral da FIFA, Michel Ruffinen, o braço direito de Blatter, virou-se contra o chefe, mesmo sentado ao seu lado.
I have also indicated some conflicts of interest. There could be corruption within the organization.
Neste documento confidencial, Ruffinen acusa Blatter de dirigir a FIFA como uma ditadura.
On essaye par une action concertée avec l'aide de certains médias, des tabloïds britanniques, de démolir l'image du président.
Ao mesmo tempo, 11 membros do Comitê Executivo da FIFA entregaram uma queixa-crime contra Blatter, acusando-o de corrupção.
The candidate elected as FIFA president for the next term of office is Mr. Joseph S. Blatter. Thank you for your attention.
Apesar da insurreição, Blatter foi reeleito numa vitória esmagadora.
I register your deep trust in FIFA and in me.
Of course I am disappointed because I thought that the world of football and the associations would understand better the situation. I think they did, but actually they did not want to understand or to really see what happens within the organization because they are happy with what is provided to them.
Concerning the General Secretary, he is in trouble, he said to one of your colleagues. And he is in trouble.
Semanas depois, Ruffinen foi expulso. A queixa-crime contra Blatter foi retirada.
How does Blatter continue to survive with all of the controversies?
What happens in FIFA, the corruption, the nepotism, the waste of money and all this, not many countries care about. These little islands which are not bigger than a football field, do you believe that they care what is happening in FIFA, if there is a scandal or not? As long as they get their money, they are happy.
A FIFA deu mais de 261 milhões de dólares em bónus aos Estados-membros após o Mundial da FIFA. Nada mau para uma organização sem fins lucrativos.
It is not correct for a billion-dollar company of the entertainment business to have the same status as a yodeling association.
Roland Buchel trabalhou na FIFA em marketing. Agora é membro do Parlamento Suíço e está a liderar a campanha na Suíça para tornar a FIFA mais transparente.
FIFA doesn't have to tell anyone how much it pays its executives, correct?
That's correct.
It doesn't have to tell anyone how much it pays any employee.
That's correct.
It doesn't have to reveal the minutes of its meetings.
That's correct.
It doesn't really have to account for itself to any overarching authority.
It's really a problem, but it's a problem of the laws, But it's even a bigger problem of the organization.
Em 2010, foi descoberto que a ISL, uma empresa de marketing suíça, pagou milhões de dólares em subornos a dirigentes da FIFA.
What did FIFA do when the names of the executives within the organization who had taken these bribes might have been disclosed?
They paid millions and did everything to have to keep these names under the carpet and not to have them revealed.
Is there any reason to believe that Sepp Blatter personally accepted bribes?
I consider Sepp Blatter a very intelligent person, a person who knows what he has to do to remain in power. And I don't think that he's been as stupid as to have taken bribes himself.
No fim, Blatter não foi implicado pessoalmente, mas foi determinado que ele sabia que a ISL tinha dado $1.600.000 a João Valanche.
I see let's say, no clouds in the heaven of FIFA now, tomorrow, or the day after.
Blatter came out and said something, you know, we've been cleared, we're fine, walk away.
Mr. Blatter has one problem. His consultants are not always the most able ones. Blatter seeks loyalty and not quality. And when he says what they suggest to him, so maybe he says stupid things like that.
And we shall wonder if one day our game is played on the other planets. Why not? And then we don't have only a World Cup, we will have interplanetary competitions.
When he's around world leaders, does he consider himself on a par with them, on the same level?
I think yes. I think yes. And you know why? Because they all treat him like this. Maybe when he's out of the room, they laugh about him, but when he's there, they treat him like this.
A few years ago, he wanted to get the Nobel Prize for Peace. And I mean, you won't get the Nobel Prize for Peace with all the allegations of corruption and the real corruption in an association. It was his target.
I mean, it sounds kind of funny, Sepp Blatter and the Nobel Peace Prize.
It doesn't only sound funny, it would be funny, but it was definitely the aim of Mr. Blatter at a certain period of time.
Queríamos falar com Sepp Blatter sobre estas coisas, mas os nossos vários pedidos de entrevista foram recusados. No entanto, enquanto fazíamos filmagens em Bahnhofstrasse, a rua mais elegante de Zurique, uma cidade com 2 milhões de pessoas, ali estava ele. Filmado em câmara lenta, este vislumbre de Blatter e da namorada parece interminável. Mas na realidade só durou uns segundos. Até um elétrico se pôr à frente e Blatter entrar no carro. E desapareceu. Se procura a alma do futebol, há piores sítios do que pub inglês.
It's an incredible privilege to think that this is where football began. This is where football started in the 19th century, and it's one of our best exports to have spread around the world. And I always say to people who don't love football, is there anything in your life that makes you jump up and scream for joy, and then have another 40,000 people doing it there with you? And it's an incredible feeling.
For nearly a century, Wembley, in its different incarnations, has been the spiritual and literal home of English soccer. This is where, in 1966, England won its only World Cup title. It was in this country in the 19th century that the game of soccer was created. And these days, the most vehement critics of FIFA and its president, Sepp Blatter, are here in England.
The British media and FIFA, I would say now, we may call it, a very interesting relationship.
Em 2010, a Inglaterra era um dos 4 finalistas para organizar o Mundial de 2018. No dia antes do vencedor ser anunciado, o primeiro-ministro David Cameron animou as hostes na Câmara dos Comuns.
We have got the stadia, we've got the facilities, we have the transport networks, we have the enthusiasm in our country for football, and we can put on an absolutely first-class World Cup.
No dia seguinte, 2 de dezembro de 2010, os ingleses souberam o seu destino.
2018 FIFA World Cup, ladies and gentlemen, will be organized in Russia.
Apesar dos pedidos de David Beckham e do príncipe William, a Inglaterra só teve 2 votos.
I think they were probably surprised at the scale of the defeat, but not surprised that we lost.
Damien Collins é deputado.
But what's been more shocking is a rotten culture that pervaded that bidding process, the culture of the executive committee and some of the people on it, whereby they expect favours and rewards for their support. And that is the way that they do business.
Some things which were put to me personally, sometimes in the presence of others, which in my view did not represent proper and ethical behaviour.
O Lord David Trisman, presidente da candidatura inglesa, depois perante uma comissão parlamentar, em maio de 2011. Ele disse que 4 membros do Comitê Executivo da FIFA lhe tinham oferecido votos em troca de dinheiro e favores. Jack Warner, da Trinidade, queria 4 milhões de dólares para um centro educativo.
Then said that the funds could be channeled through him and he would guarantee that they were appropriately spent.
Nicolás Leos, um membro do Comitê Executivo do Paraguai, queria ser chamado Sir.
He believed that a knighthood from the United Kingdom would be appropriate. And it was put to me that as a former Foreign Office Minister, I must know how these things are organised and could probably achieve it if we had a mind to do so.
What we're talking about is people allegedly soliciting bribes. And that is an offence, and is an offence around the world, and if you did that in business, then you could expect to be prosecuted for it.
Mas não foi apenas a candidatura de 2018 que parecia ter sido fraudulenta. Alguns minutos após a derrota da Inglaterra, houve este anúncio.
The winner to organize the 2022 FIFA World Cup is Qatar.
How did Qatar get the 2022 World Cup?
Money. They bought it. I think that's how they got the World Cup. I mean, there's no other conclusion you could draw.
Essa também foi a conclusão do jornal britânico The Sunday Times. Em 2010, 2 jornalistas infiltraram-se, disfarçados de lobistas, para a candidatura dos Estados Unidos para o Mundial de 2022.
We went around meeting lots of different FIFA consultants and voters and secretly taped them.
One of the things I want to know from this is, will it help you make your decision in favour of America in some way?
Obviously, it may have an effect. Of course, it may have an effect. It may have an effect.
What were you told about how much it would cost to buy the World Cup?
For an individual voter, we were told anything from about 250,000 to about 1.5 million.
It can be paid in cash, otherwise it can be transferred.
Yes.
I didn't know whether it would have to go via the Nigerian Football Confederation, or it's better to go to you directly.
Directly.
Os jornalistas Heidi Blake e Jonathan Calvert publicaram recentemente um livro chamado O Plano do Qatar para comprar o Mundial, no seguimento da reportagem do Sunday Times. Eles analisaram milhões de e-mails, faxes e transferências bancárias entregues por um delator do interior da FIFA.
What does your evidence show?
Mohammed bin Hammam, who was Qatar's most senior football official at the time, waged a campaign over the 2 years in the lead up to the vote in which he bribed dozens of football officials all around the world in exchange for backing Qatar's World Cup bid.
Os jornalistas dizem que bin Hammam gastou 5 milhões de dólares a comprar apoio à candidatura do Qatar.
One of the things he was very keen to do was create this big groundswell of support in Africa, and to do that he would bring all the presidents of all the African associations to Doha, where they would be wined and dined, put up in the best hotels, given cash spending money. Afterwards, they would write back to him saying that they'll support his country's bid for the World Cup and then ask him for money.
É o mesmo Mohamed bin Hammam, que tinha sido acusado de comprar os votos que deram a presidência da FIFA a Blatter. O bilionário do Qatar e amigo da família real era agora quase tão poderoso na FIFA como Sepp Blatter.
Bin Hammam helped Blatter get elected in 1998 and in 2002. And Bin Hammam was on a promise that Blatter would step down and that he would replace him. Blatter went back on that promise, twice in fact.
Em 2011, Bin Hammam anunciou que ia concorrer contra Blatter para a presidência da FIFA. Mas segundo os jornalistas Blake e Calvert, dias antes das eleições, Bin Hammam foi chamado à sede da FIFA, em Zurique. Quando entrou no gabinete do presidente, ficou surpreendido ao encontrar, além de Sepp Blatter, um membro da família real do Qatar.
Blatter did a deal with Qatar. The deal was that if Mohammed stood aside and didn't stand against Blatter for the presidency, then Blatter would do his utmost to make sure that the Qatar 2022 bid was untouched.
Nessa noite, Bin Hammam retirou a candidatura. A FIFA nega que tenha sido feito qualquer acordo com a família real do Qatar, ou que decorreu uma reunião na véspera das eleições de 2011, que Blatter ganhou após não ter adversários.
There is not one single doubt that the World Cup 2022 will be organized in Qatar. Decision taken by the Executive Committee on the 2nd of December 2010 and not reversible.
Through the histories, the dictators, when they think that this or that person is a prominent one, to replace him, first thing they do, they execute him.
Blatter has cut off people who've helped him.
Yes.
That's what he does.
Yes. Yes. That's no problem for him. You know. Mr. Bin Hammam was cut off, for example. Yeah.
Loyalty doesn't mean much.
No. Loyalty is rather a one-way street for him.
Blatter prometeu que a eleição de 2011 seria a última.
Is he a man who keeps his word?
No.
E assim, antes do Mundial do ano passado,
My mission is not finished. Congress, my mission is not finished. I am ready to accompany you in the future for the game for the world. But it's your decision, Congress, if you want to go with me. For the game for the world, thank you so much.
mas desta vez tem adversários nas eleições. E as vozes que pedem mudanças são mais altas do que nunca.
Since ascending to the presidency of FIFA in 1998, Sepp Blatter has worked tirelessly to consolidate power and to stifle potential rivals for the position. But amid growing and recent harsh criticism of his leadership, he issued a challenge. He said to his critics, if you don't like the way I'm doing things, then have the courage to run against me. And they have.
Na realidade, concorreram 3 homens contra Sepp Blatter. Michael Van Praag, dos Países Baixos, Luís Figo, de Portugal, e o príncipe Ali bin Al-Hussein, da Jordânia. Todos vieram a Viena em março para apresentar as candidaturas na reunião anual da UEFA. Van Praag e Figo acabaram por abandonar a corrida, dando o seu apoio ao príncipe Ali, vice-presidente da FIFA.
As much as football is loved around the world, and it is the most popular sport, I think the reputation of the organization is the opposite. And I think that the only way to change that, to be honest, is a change of leadership, with all respect to everyone.
Hussein, any chance of winning?
No. I don't know what these people are thinking. They're badly advised. No chance of winning.
The manner in which Sepp Blatter leads doesn't encourage competition.
Especialista em ética e transparência, Michael Hirschman foi nomeado em 2011 para o recém-formado Comitê Independente de Governança da FIFA.
And it was only until the voices got loud enough and the sponsors started to question what is going on in FIFA that they decided it's time for us to undertake a reform.
Sob pressão, a FIFA disse que iria investigar as candidaturas aos Mundiais de 2018 e 2022, nomeando Michael Garcia, um advogado norte-americano, para liderar a investigação. Mas até Garcia, um antigo procurador federal de topo, considerou a FIFA impenetrável.
I thought he was terribly frustrated. He did not have grand jury. He did not have subpoena power. He did not have the power to grant immunity. And so he got limited cooperation.
Até agora, a FIFA recusou divulgar o relatório de Michael Garcia por inteiro, divulgando apenas um sumário. Michael Garcia disse que o sumário distorcia de tal maneira as suas conclusões que se demitiu em protesto.
True reform doesn't come from adding rules or creating new committee structures. It comes from changing the culture of the organization.
Mas na quarta-feira o Departamento de Justiça avançou detendo 7 membros da FIFA em Zurique, acusando 14 homens de corrupção, incluindo algumas das figuras mais poderosas nas últimas décadas da organização.
They were expected to uphold the rules that keep soccer honest and to protect the integrity of the game. Instead, they corrupted the business of worldwide soccer to serve their interests and to enrich themselves.
Sepp Blatter não foi indiciado. E ele diz que a investigação das autoridades suíças e norte-americanas é bem-vinda. O Departamento de Justiça diz que as ações de quarta-feira foram apenas o início do seu esforço para acabar com a corrupção na FIFA.
What kind of protection do you get from the FBI?
I can't state that.
Fidra Al-Majid é a consultora que alega ter visto o Comitê do Qatar oferecer subornos em troca de votos. Ela diz que pouco depois das suas alegações se tornarem públicas, 3 agentes do FBI apareceram-lhe à porta. Estavam lá devido às ameaças feitas contra ela e os seus filhos.
How have you been threatened? Through phone calls, emails?
Phone calls, emails, hacking especially, cyber attacks.
Where do you think it's coming from?
I really don't want to point fingers, but I think I'm the biggest threat to Qatar, so I would guess it's them. However, there could be a lot of parties involved at this point, including FIFA. Who knows?
Why are the Qataris threatened by you?
Well, I've witnessed things, and I've publicly spoken about those things. If it's proven, if proof is found, they could risk losing the World Cup, according to FIFA rules.
Mas Blatter disse que ninguém vai tirar o Mundial ao Qatar enquanto ele for presidente. É improvável que isso mude a 29 de maio, quando decorrer a eleição presidencial. Blatter está tão confiante na vitória que recusou apresentar uma plataforma para o 5º mandato.
My manifesto is the work I have done in the last years in FIFA. I am now 40 years in FIFA and I am 17 years the president of FIFA. This is my manifesto.
Tínhamos esperado colocar as nossas questões diretamente a Sepp Blatter. Finalmente, em Viena, pensámos que tínhamos uma oportunidade. Disseram-nos que talvez falasse connosco no fim da reunião. Então esperámos. Esperámos. E ele nunca apareceu. Afinal, o homem mais poderoso do desporto não presta contas a ninguém.
Who do I think football belongs to? Well, ultimately, it belongs to all of us. It belongs to the fans.
Football belongs to the people. Football is for everyone.
Well, if we didn't watch it, it wouldn't be there.
Football basically belongs to everybody.
The game was invented in England, codified in England, but it now belongs to the world.
FIFA behaves as if it would belong to them. And football definitely doesn't belong to FIFA, and for sure not to their executives.